I thought what I'd do would be to show people the lengths that I've gone to protect myself from ignorant and, in some cases, criminally liable public servants. This is my property. It's owned absolutely by me. Nobody's got any interest in it. I don't have anything issued by the DMV attached to it. I don't have anything belonging to the DMV. This is a notice of sale. I'm basically letting people know that if they exercise dominion or they exercise control over my property, they agree to the terms and conditions of that contract. I'm letting them know how much it costs and what they have to do. This little placard, it's a laserette. Both of these are laser etched placards. This tells people who owns this property. It's mine. I keep the vehicle code. I've got a couple of copies of the vehicle code. This is an older 2002. Comes in handy. It's got stuff in there. I also have a volume of the annotated vehicle code. This is a 5-volume series. Keep a hard copy in here too. I've also got a for sale sign, and as you can see, private property no trespassing sign. Because apparently they don't get it. I also keep a folder in here that in the event I'm pulled over, I'm going to offer this to the officer. And I'm going to let the officer know that I want it submitted into the record of his investigation. It contains some sections of the California Constitution and some citations from federal and state courts, and also the codes of California. And the objective is to inform the officer of certain relevant issues in the hope that he does nothing more than comply with the law. For example, we're informed that there can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of the exercise of a constitutional right. Well, there's some rights. I have the right to own and enjoy property. I have the right not to have my property taken from me without due process of law, or taken from me for public use without being paid for it. I also have the right to peacefully assemble, which means I can use my property to go meet with people and discuss my rights. And just in case, I've got a bunch of rights that are in reserve as well. And according to the court in California, in 1976, obviously, police officers must obey the Constitution and may not deprive persons of constitutional rights. Makes sense to me. As a matter of fact, ignorance of the law does not excuse misconduct in anyone, least of all a sworn officer of the law. I guess that was Supreme Court of California, 1917. Huh. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Here's another one. Statute does not trump the Constitution. That's what that is. It's a statute. Part of the statute. It's not the Constitution. What they're telling us is statute does not trump the Constitution. As a matter of fact, it is settled that the streets of the city belong to the people. And the use thereof is an inalienable right of every citizen of the state. I'm a citizen of the state. As a matter of fact, an officer who, as you can see, now, according to the legislature, the ownership of property is absolute or qualified. Well, if it's qualified, then maybe somebody can take it under the appropriate circumstances. In any event, this is something that I would submit into the officer's investigation. Additionally, I would supply the officer with a copy of this. This is an executive order of the state of California signed by George Deukmejian. See? That's George Deukmejian's signature. And this executive order applies to police officers and all other government agents. And what it's telling them is, hey, don't be taking private property absent due process of law. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So these are some of the lengths that I've gone to protect myself from ignorant and errant public servants who are supposed to know what the law is they're allegedly enforcing. I've also got a contract posted in the rear window. So if a cop walks up and looks at it, hey, what's this? It's a contract. Don't touch or you agreed to buy it. See, I don't have any of the state's brand or state's property on my property. Therefore, the argument can be made that the state has no interest in my property. So if a cop decides he wants to take it, on whose behalf is he taking it? If the state doesn't have any interest in it, who does? Nobody. So he's taking absolutely own personal property without a warrant. The streets belong to the people. The people have a right to use the street, to go to the store to buy food, to buy shoes, to go to the movies, to go to the beach. It's their unalienable right to do so. I didn't write the rules, I just found the rules, and that's what the rules state.